Once upon a time, there was a little girl, and her name was Haley. Now, Haley was only 3.5 years old, and she so wanted to ride a bike without training wheels. She really wanted to do this. Well, she kept trying and trying and trying and couldn't get it. One day, their family went up into the mountains to go camping. Haley insisted on taking her bike. So they packed her bike, and while they were up camping, Haley continued to try to ride her bike on the roads. Well, one day, the second day they were there, she got so frustrated that she took her bike and took the handlebars and pushed the bike by itself, and it coasted down the road, whoop, went off a cliff. She was like, yeah, take that bike, stupid bike, I can't ride it anyways. And all of a sudden she heard this, woo! She was like, what was that? So she walked over to the little cliff, and she looked down there. She could see something moving in the bushes. She was like, what the heck? And then between the trees, she could see her bike. Something was pushing her bike. She couldn't quite see what it was. She decided to climb down the hill and find out what was pushing her bike.
Booger the bear.
So, she climbed down a little bit. She looked a little further. Couldn't see it very well, so she kept climbing down. And she got to where the ground was really flat, and there was actually a trail. She walked along the trail following her bike. And when she got to a clearing, she looked down the trail and could see what was walking off with her bike. What? There's no way. It's a bear. There's a bear stealing my bike. Why would a bear steal my bike? She looked down there and went, no way. Hey, bear! You're stealing my bike! And the bear turned around. And Haley thought, no, sir. She tromped down the trail. She said, you bear, give me my bike. And the bear turned around and started walking towards Haley. Then Haley realized that this is a bear. She is a little girl. She was going to get eaten by the bear. And the bear stood up on its hind legs and was way taller than Haley. And Haley looked up to the bear. Uh-oh. Just kidding. You can have the bike, Mr. Bear. The bear looked down at Haley. And he goes, sorry. And Haley went, what? And the bear says, sorry. I found it. And Haley's like, well, don't eat me. The bear looked down and said, you? I'm not gonna eat you. Haley was like, okay then, you're a talking bear. And the bear said, hi, I'm Booger. What kind of name is Booger? And the bear said, well, it's my name. What's your name? And he says, Haley. And the bear goes, Haley, really? Like, hey and Lee? She says, yeah. And the bear laughs some more. Lexi says, well, I've never met a talking bear before. And the bear says, really, I've never met a person before. I always run away from them. And Haley asked, what are you doing with my bike anyways? And the bear says, oh boy, I love riding a bike. And Haley said, what? You can ride a bike? No, you can't. The bear said, oh yes I can, oh boy, I love it. Watch. He grabbed the bike And he hopped up on it and whoop, started pedaling and rode right off. And Haley goes, "What? There's no training wheels." The bear said, "Training wheels? No one uses training wheels anymore." And Haley says, "Well, I have been trying for days to try and ride the bike, and I can't do it." The bear said, "It's easy. You just have to have a little faith in yourself." Haley said, "What does that mean?" Booger the bear says, "You just got to believe in yourself. I will show you how. And then you just believe that you can do it." Haley says, "Well, okay." So Booger the bear went and grabbed the bike. He said, "Hey, Kay, hop on, Haley." So Haley hopped on, and the booger held on to the back seat of the bike, and he said, "Kay, I'll be right here, and you pedal off, and I'll keep you balanced, and then I'm going to let go." And Haley was like, "No, don't let go, I'll fall." Booger the bear says, "Yeah, and?" She says, "I'll get hurt." Booger the bear says, "Well, sometimes you fall and get hurt. Then you get back up and do it again." Haley said, "Well, okay." And Booger looked at her and said, "You really won't get hurt. You're just going to fall on the flowers. What are the flowers going to do? Bite you?" Haley giggled. "Flowers don't bite. Then again, bears don't talk." So Booger the bear got behind her, and he grabbed onto her seat with his teeth. And he says, "Okay, ready? Here we go." And Haley started pedaling, and they took off. Booger the bear was a pretty fast runner on all four legs. And Haley took off faster, and a little faster, and a little faster. And Booger the bear just slowly let go of her seat. "You got it. You got it." And Haley was riding her bike by herself, and Booger was still right behind her running. And Haley got a little bit faster, and then she got really wobbly. She fell down. She was like, "Oh, my knee. I hurt my knee." And Booger the bear came up and was like, "You're fine. It's just a little scratch." And Haley was like, "Oh, no, my knee." Booger the bear says, "Well, I'll make it better." And licked the owie. And Haley goes, "Ew. Do I have to try still? Because I'm sick of this." And Booger said, "You just want to give up?" Haley goes, "Yeah, never going to get it." And Booger says, "Give it one more shot." So she hopped back on, started going, and Booger didn't hang on for very long. He let go, and off she went. And he was still running behind. He said, "Lean this way a little bit, and lean that way a little bit, very slowly. Now lean left, because the trail turns, and up, yep." And then Booger stopped, and Haley went around the loop-de-loop, and came back, and she was like, I'm doing it, I rode my bike, I didn't even know you weren't behind me anymore." Booger stuck up his paw and said, "Yeah," and they high-fived. Well, now, Haley had a bike, and Booger didn't have a bike. So Haley says, "I'll tell you what, let's go back to my camp, and you can use my dad's bike." And they thought, all right. So they went back to camp, and Booger got to borrow Dad's bike, and they went on a bike ride. And they went through the woods. And oh man, Haley was having so much fun. She got really good at that bike really fast. And they were going up a little hill, and down a hill, and up a hill, and left and right, and up and down. And it got really dark. And they thought, uh-oh, it's not nighttime, what's going on? And Booger says, "Stop there, Haley." So Haley stopped. Said, "What is this place?" Booger the bear says, "That's not a good place. That's the zombie fields." And Haley was like, "What?" He says, "You don't want to go in there. There's the scariest bunch of bunnies you've ever seen. Haley laughed. Bunnies? Are you serious? There's no such thing as a scary bunny. You're a bear. Why are you such a pansy? Booger the bear said, it's not even funny. Those rabbits in there, they're zombie rabbits. They will eat your face. Haley, where do you come up with this stuff, Booger? You goofball. There's nothing in there. And Haley hopped on her bike and rode off down the trail. And it got dark in there. And Booger thought, oh no, I'm going to have to go in there and save her. So Booger rode after her. And Haley just kept riding and said, see, there's nothing in here. She heard something. What was that? Haley was like, what the heck is going on? Haley stopped her bike for a minute and got down. Then the noises got louder. And Booger rode up behind her. Haley, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here. Haley said, what is that noise? And Booger said, it's the zombie bunnies. Zombie bunnies. There's no such... Ah! Haley screamed. She looked down the trail and she saw it. There was a white bunny standing down the trail. And it stood about a foot tall. It wasn't a big bunny. But it had these nasty ears and big yellow eyes. And Haley looked at that bunny and thought, what the heck? And it started to walk. It didn't hop. It walked on its hind legs like a person. But it looked funny because the bunny has floppy feet. And he took a couple steps. And Haley thought, that's not even that scary. So you know what Haley did? Haley wasn't real scared of much, but now she knew what it was. She thought, come on, Booger. And Booger was like, oh dear, I don't know about this. And Haley said, look how slow they are. That noise wasn't them running fast. They made that noise with their mouth. And the bunny still was stepping towards her. And Haley was like, watch this. So she hopped on her bike. She pedaled fast. The bunny didn't even move. And before you know it, she ran over that bunny. And that bunny went... landed in the woods. And she skidded to a stop. Did you see that, Booger? And Booger was like, whoa. You took the bunny's head off with your bike. That was awesome. And here came a rabbit right towards Booger. Booger thought, I wonder if I could do it. So he pedaled. Off went another bunny. Oh man, that was like playing a game. Haley and Booger the bear high-fived and thought, this is not scary at all, this is a blast. Oh man, they rode all over the woods. They were pedaling. There were bunnies everywhere, standing up, popping out of the bushes. They were taking them out one by one. And all of a sudden, the trail ended. And Booger thought, oh no, we're going to get surrounded. There's no way out but the way we came. And Haley said, that's all right, dude. Let's stay here for a minute and let them build up, trying to get us, and then we'll just ride right through the middle of them. And Booger didn't like that idea. He said, Haley, do you get it? If one of these bunnies bites you, you turn into a zombie bunny. Okay, Booger, sure. And they looked over, and there was a person. And they thought, who the heck is that? And all of a sudden that person went and turned into a little bunny. Booger! Booger! Did you see that? And Booger went, yeah, I saw it. I told you. He turned into a bunny. And that little bunny started walking towards him. And this time Haley wasn't riding her bike, so she stepped off her bike. She went, whatever, this bunny's going down. She took the front tire, the handlebars, and swung her bike. Off went another bunny. He said, Booger, these bunnies are not scary. And there's a whole bunch of them coming. And Haley grabbed a tree branch, broke it off. It was a big stick, looked like a hockey stick. She handed it to Booger. Said, here, take this. Booger says, what is that for? She says, as we ride through the middle of them, you use it like a sword and cut off their heads. And Booger was like, oh, okay. Haley reached up and grabbed a stick for her. And here came a huge army of zombie bunnies. But they were so slow. But a ton of them. And the noise was super loud. And all of a sudden, right in the middle of them, a big bunny stood up. And it raised its arms up. And it went. And Haley thought, that's the king bunny. We gotta take him out. And Booger thought, oh no, he's terrifying. And Haley was like, quit being a pansy, Booger. Let's go! And she hopped on her bike and rode right through the army of bunnies. They started flying off all over the place, and Haley took her stick, started chopping off the bunnies, and they went flying everywhere. And Booger was like, okay, I guess I gotta follow her. And he went through the army of bunnies. And Haley and Lexi were both headed right towards this king bunny. And the king bunny went, it was a zombie ninja bunny. And Booger rode by and took a swipe with his stick, and the bunny jumped over it. And Haley went, uh-oh. And she took a swipe with her stick. The bunny ducked, and the stick went over his head. And they were still riding through a swarm of bunnies. And they thought, oh no, what do we do? And they circled back around. And Booger looked at Haley and said, throw your stick at the same time. Then when he jumps to get out of the way, let's do a bunny hop and squish him with our tires. Haley said, okay. And so they both threw their sticks. And the sticks came and the bunny hopped over it. And just then, Haley and Booger the bear were on their bikes. And they came and they hopped up. Whoop, did that, and they squished the bunny right in the middle. Zombie bunny was squished, and they landed down on their bikes. And all of the other zombie bunnies, they turned back into weird-looking people. They were just normal people that were like, what the heck? What was going on? And they all turned around and walked away. Booger and Lexi were standing there and was like, or Booger and Haley, like, dude, we just saved all those people. Whoa. That bunny must have been an evil bunny. He was the original zombie bunny. And all the other ones were its victims that turned people into zombie bunnies. But we saved them all. And they high-fived again, and they rode off back to camp. Just as they got into camp, it was so dark, and they were so tired. Haley said, "Thanks, Booger, for teaching me how to ride a bike and to get rid of the zombie bunnies. We saved the world." And Booger said, "You're welcome. My cave is over there, so whenever you want to come hang out, let me know." And Haley says, "You know what? You can keep my dad's bike. He'll never believe that a bear stole it." And they laughed. And Booger the bear rode off. And Haley went inside the trailer and fell asleep just like that. The end.